Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we're back with Financial Fitness Friday. We've rescheduled Mindset Monday. We just had a lot of stuff come up. We apologize for all that. I am here with my good friend Dave Bergio.
What is going
Dave,
on?
how's it going?
It's going great, man. How are you? Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, likewise, likewise. Just wanted to touch a couple things on what is going on. I mean, everyone knows about inflation. I was saying that for a while. Everyone's starting to see where the economy is and what's going on with that. And I think instead of focusing on what's going on, meaning why is all this happening, okay? How do we solve it, right? Like what's going to get you through that? It's one thing to point at problems. It's another thing to hey, here's the challenges. What are the solutions? So I just wanted to get into that for a little bit. So, Dave, on the credit side, are you guys seeing more people with credit declines? I mean, let's talk about that.
Well, not only credit, but I think a big thing or a big hurdle that we get is it's also uncertainty with what's coming in your household now. I read an article the other day, the average grocery price increase due to inflation for the average household's an extra $500 a month. So I don't know if you can verify that, or that's an article I read in one of the business magazines. But people are looking for ways to keep money in their house, so that kind of puts them in a pinch. So we've come up with different systems of ways to help them be able to fund a credit repair too, so they're basically have the ability to pay what they can afford, so it can help them. And it's tough, man. People are getting hit over the head, but yeah, I mean, people want to get their credit fixed. They know things are are gonna get worse, probably, and they're looking for a solution. So we kind of have a solution on our end to help them, but we're also still going to guide them and still give them the same service, the same guidance that they need to get them into the right direction. But yeah, people are getting beat up, man. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
100%. So I think the same goes for business owners too, right? So business owners, their cost of goods are going up, cost of employees obviously are going up. Everything is rising.
I
Okay.
think I think one thing that isn't even talked about yet from the business side, and I think that's kind of funny when good old daddy government talks about it, as this whole taxation ordeal, right? Things are going to go up for business owners too on the tax side, on the double side, not only for their business but also in their personal bracket. And where does that trickle down? That trickles down to you. To if you're an employee, that trickles down to you. So
Yep.
you got to face that reality, and I don't think a lot of people think that one through. Oh, you make a lot of money, you can tax this out. Guess where that goes back to?
Yeah. That's 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 the truth. That's the truth. And meanwhile, they're spending tons of our money overseas, right? That's also getting funneled back into their pockets. So I think one of the things to realize is
That
in
comes,
this time, okay, to really thrive, you have to consistently over deliver
yes,
and you have to help as a business owner. Your relationships are everything, right? So, who are your referral partners? Who are your referral relationships? Who works with the same client? And how can you guys work together to increase the value to your common clients? Okay. Doing things like that and going above and beyond um, are crucial. I mean, without doing those things, you are basically doomed to fail because you're going to be just like every other business. All right. And I think the path forward is who can be the most creative, who can be the most determined, okay, and who can drive and deliver the most amount of value to their clients, okay, that possible. And that's going to be the separator. Because if you think about it, right, if you really break it down, the last, call it 4 or 5 years running into and up to the pandemic, I don't want to say it was easy. Business is never easy, but there was a lot of cash circulating. Okay, the money supply was abundant, and it was a very very good time in business because the costs of goods were very low. The cost of fuel was very low, and now we're seeing the opposite. So now we are going into an ultra competitive environment. And it's not just a competitive environment for these companies, it's also on the individual, right? So individually, how do you raise your income? Individually, what can you do on the side? Individually, how financially free are you? All right. Do you have adequate savings? Do you have the right investments? All of this stuff is going to factor in a major way. Oh, like it already has, but for the next, call it 6 to 12 months, it's going to be a bigger gap. And that's what's going to really drive how successful you are. Are you taking care of the little things? And those little things will add up to the larger items. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just take action. I think that's the big, don't be afraid to take action. This is the best time. If you're new and if you're just getting started, you have a leg up actually because you're already at the bottom essentially, and realistically the only place to go is up. I mean, I've been doing this since 2016, since 2016, but under the Trifecta brand we created in the height of the lockdown, right? So there's no excuse as to why anybody coming in can't get ahead during tough times. Just stay at it. Of course everybody's got to ride that wave, man. Like you're going to get punched in the face. I'm sure you're getting punched in the face. I'm getting punched in the face, but that's the separator. Those who could take the most hits and keep going. That's a Rocky line, isn't it?
Yeah.
So on the PA side of us, right? But you just keep going, man. And you take those hits. Everybody wants to play defense right now. You got to play offense.
I think it's more strategic offense, right? Because if you, at the end of the day, if you're investing in the wrong things, wrong opportunities, if you're taking your eye off the ball, you're not going to win, right? If you are trying to compete with, let's say, me in helping business owners get financing, or you in credit repair, when this is the only thing that we're doing, that you're not going to win when someone's obsessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I can tell you that's going to be a differentiator. That's going to be a separator. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. So what I want people to do is take real accurate stock. We could talk about this for hours. If you need us, you could always reach out to us. I want you guys to take real accurate stock of where you are, okay? What habits you need to implement, both personally and in your business, and make sure that you are putting in an action plan to get that done. And you are executing on that in a daily basis.
100%. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Lean on people. Now's the time to lean on people. Create those new relationships. I think we've talked about that or throw that in there at least in the last 2 or 3 weeks, every single episode, because it's critical, man. It is super critical. Get around the right people.
That's huge. Edit your circle. I made a post on that earlier in the week. Anybody that's negative, anybody that's a taker, anybody that is not adding value to what you do and actually winning, get them out. I am in the process of doing that with the last thorn in my ass. And honestly, the further and further away I get, the better it is.
That's okay. The greatest feeling.
Yeah.
In your circle, man. It's huge. It's huge. And it's so underrated. Everybody's got this thing of like holding on or to whatever. It's almost it's like hoarding. You know what I mean? It's almost like hoarding, but like and listen, it's no fault like people are bad. You're leveling up constantly. Yeah. Life never stays the same, man. That was a hard thing for me to adjust to.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving, constantly changing, man. You got to roll with it.
Yep, and you got to eliminate distractions, eliminate the negativity, because all it does is serve to hold you back, right? It's like holding, when you're angry at somebody, it's like the game hot potato. You hold that potato, right? And the only person it's impacting is you.
Yeah.
Right? When you let it go and just focus on what you need to do to win and execute on that, man, life gets really, really good. And it's something everybody struggles with. If they say they don't, they're lying. And, just focus on that. And that's something that I've been actively working on.
That's awesome, man.
Listen, guys, we'll let you guys go. Dave, thanks for coming on.
Brother, thank you.
We'll be normal scheduled time next week.
For
All right.
sure.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, and I'll be on the flip side next week.